I love that intro. Hey everybody, how's it going?
It worked that time.
It did. I even got my cool doggo face. My wife always makes that face to me. She'll send me a joke text or something, and I'll look in the other room, which I can see into the living room from this space, and she's like, what's going on? It's me, Brian, the Bro Builder. Welcome to the KotoKai Robo-Dojo. Critiqual Buildoff. I think it was 5. I said it was 5. No, I didn't say it was 5. I think this is 5, right? I think it's 5.
I think this is 5, yeah.
All right. Whew, we made it to the 5th one. And it has been a bumpy ride. I have a couple of stories that I can tell about my current build-off, but I am not alone this 5 evening. We'll talk about it later. Joining me, we have Mr. Christian Papatalade. Papatalladega. The king of the father of NASCAR racing, Papatalladega.
I have never watched a single race.
That's okay. That's just the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, and no one should ever watch NASCAR. It's boring. I joke. I kid. And John Lynn. Hey, John Lynn. Hi.
Hi.
I'll say bye. We got a couple people out in the chat already. Manny's been hanging out since 8:30. Zach was right on time at 9. What's up, Zach Blake? How you doing? He had a birthday recently. Happy belated as well as the same lady. Happy birthday to you, sir. Our friend Steven Charles Apprentice is out there. Guys, what's up? Guy Daigogi. He's obviously still around. Angawa. What is doing? How's everyone this fine evening? New year. New me. Same me. What's going on? What's going on out there in the wonderful world? Mr. Prabs, how are you doing this evening?
Ooh, it's been a day. It's been a day. What's up, guys? Happy New Year. 2021, here we are. Well, how many days are we in? 5 days in? And we already almost lost Dr. Dre.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah. It is, gentlemen. Yeah.
I don't find that a bad thing.
Yeah, because you don't know Dr. Dre.
You don't know Dr.
I mean, I know Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre and Miss Away.
I think you forgot about Trey.
I think so, too. But yeah, so Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am doing some stuff. Since I don't have the camera set up over here yet, I'm just going to slightly turn it this way.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then maybe tilt it down a bit. And then maybe, I don't know, zoom in this way.
Look at that monster.
It is a big boy. It's a tall boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, pretty much the main body's been snapped together. The only thing missing is the side skirts and the back skirts, because those will refuse to go on unless I modify them further. Obviously, the backpack is still missing, as well as the weapons. But the main body is ready and set to go, ×2. So the reason why you guys are seeing the stock one right here is because I'm not bothering to snap fit the second one, because that one, I'm just doing the exact same thing too. So, right. These things are all set. It's almost ready to go. I am looking forward to getting this in the paint booth at some point, whenever the paint booth gets ready. I've got a couple more things lined up to do. Oddly enough, I have a couple of video reviews to film. Ooh, that's way too close to my face. Holy shit. I don't know. I am also very thankful to a couple of companies that were kind enough to send me a few things. Like Display sent me their
oh, nice. Their peg clamps. Cool.
Yeah, their pin vise, or not pin vise, their vise, their tabletop vise. And I am very happy to say it is very cool. It's very well made. It's a lot heavier. So this is my standard vise right here that I've been using for like 3 or 4 years now. Yeah, and it's the weight difference is very apparent. Also, obviously, the flexibility with the ball socket right there, and the various pin combinations you can have with this thing is pretty cool. So if you guys haven't checked it out, please do. I will be making a video on this. You guys will probably see it at some point on some other channel. And I'll give you guys a bit of a spoiler. It's pretty good. So there you go. Apart from that, Critical Builds, January 16th, which is next Saturday. That's about all I'm doing so far. Critical Buildoff. I'll get there at some point.
Yeah, right. You were ahead of me, and then we have the same kit, and now I'm like done. So...
And then I moved house and started doing home stuff. And now
it's good. I just give you a hard time because you're my friend. I have a similar type of. I have a couple of these. So I have one that's handheld, right, and you got one, right. So this is the same kind of deal, but this is like a round grid. This is your standard handheld one. So it's really good for doing minis and stuff like that. But I have one like you have, but it's currently the only thing that's holding half of the set right now. That's how sturdy those are. So I have a different branding or whatever, but I assume that the one you have is probably like really, really nice. These are good. These are pretty utilitarian. They're pretty generic though. Like the one you have is like precision. So that's quality.
It's one of the first things I noticed. The moment I took it out of the box and I kind of just looked at it and messed with it, the quality of the craftsmanship is excellent. It doesn't feel like your finger will nick anything sharp. The edges are nicely filed. It's well milled. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. They probably tumbled it. If it's aluminum, then maybe they tumbled it and they anodized it.
They did. So it does say on the box, because on the box it does say anodized aluminium. I refuse to say aluminum.
Oh, I can flex my metalworking skills. 15 years in the business didn't do nothing for me.
It also has a sandblast finish. So
there you go. That's what they did. They didn't tumble it. They blasted it.
Mm-hmm.
Blasting a lot of times. I wonder what they use. Probably 120 grit sand, maybe silica. Probably nothing crazy fun like walnut shells or fun things like that come into different levels of blasting. But
who knows?
I used to have one of those. I used to have one of those in my disposal, like a full stand up. Like stick your arms in it, like Homer Simpson in the plasma thing with the arms.
Yeah, my old job at they used to make running awards, like medals and stuff. We used to have the sandblasting machine, and that thing was absolutely garbage. Like I felt like it was leaking sand, man. It was not good.
Got to do it right. Yeah, the company I worked for, we built that one, and I maintained it for 10 plus years. So yeah, it was my friend. I had many friends. They're all machines.
Oh, the Ngawa just said, well, we'll wait for instructions and stuff, and then I'll get to it.
All right, John Lynn.
Hi guys. See what I'm working on. Haven't done a whole lot of tie-dye today. I have a few shower curtains in the works. Other than that, I've been working on these little guys.
Nice.
Is that a cat?
It is a bat skull.
The bat skull.
Bats don't have skulls like this, but I just love the feel of it.
I like it.
And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to see me play with some resin. I'm currently putting some mica powder down on this mold.
Awesome.
And we're going to be doing some bird skulls. My little bear and beetle stuff.
Have you given any more thought to modifying some of those original molds so you can have custom costs?
I have. I'm gonna probably, after I do the drop on the store with a couple of them, I'm gonna start like doing some junk pours and then molding, because I like my Ouija board blanket, but I don't like the wording on it because like where the bubbles build the most, and no matter what I do, I can't get the bubbles out. So that's gonna be reworked on. I think I might just make a template and make it bigger. But
okay, we can also, John Lynn, you and I can have like a. I'll pull out a solo here real quick. You and I can have a like a conversation. We can jump on video chat, and you can show me like what's going on. You can show me your molds directly, like up close, and I can take a look, because I have also have like 10 years or whatever in making molds or close to
Oh,
it at this point. So I can potentially help you like circumvent those things so that with like where you move on that you won't have those issues, or maybe we can also solve it so that you don't have them in the future, and maybe we can rectify what's going on with your current molds to make it easier for you. So
I'm down to clown.
yeah, that's totally cool. I'm also down to help.
But other than that, I shall show you the project on my son. What I got is far done. I got some work on done today. Send more hobby paint, please.
You have that J-Shack money. You can pay for it yourself.
For my son, help a single farmhand raising her child.
That is like a many colored vial of liquid imagination.
It's my pride and joy right now. It has all my heroes in it so far, which I counted. I'm down to like 25.
That's always another one.
Oh, hilarious.
But that's what I'm working on. I'm glad to see everybody in the comments.
Thanks for joining in, John. Then, I have been working on and off on my models as well as doing a bunch of other crazy shit in my personal life, but I recently got this guy to this point, which is pretty good. There's still some seams I got to fill and a little bit of doodads, but after a long and arduous battle, I got it to a good place. I was like, one day I was like clenched fists and rage. I can't remember which day it was, but it was recently. But yeah, so I was able to get a good spot on this with modified the chest armor. I have some photos and stuff that I'll be posting out on like Instagram or whatever. I don't really do the tutorial thing much anymore. I honestly don't post much anymore. I suck. But the thing that fucked with me the most was these little tubes here on the top, these piping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, there's some white styrene, some bits that I put in there, and then some wire, my favorite gauge of wire. It's about 1/8 of an inch or 11 gauge coated. That's exterior, not interior. Interior is like, I don't fucking know, 20 or something. But what now, where did those things go, or did I throw them away in a fit of rage? I may have thrown them away. Okay. Let me look at the trash. No, because it was just what came with it, and it's just garbage regardless. What it was these two components that plugged into the back. It was because this is old tech. This is from like 1989, right? So it first and foremost, it's a clamshell chest and then back of the torso. So I just took this and threw that one away, and I just went with the chest and the backpack. So that left, again, still two clamshells. And then I tied them together using the things that plug into the top of the chest and these hoses that like sculpt around the head and then plug into the backpack. Now, because the chest was much wider before, I cut about 1/8 of an inch out of the inside of it and glued it all back together. It changed the whole geometry of the way that those hoses lined up in the front and they tied into the back. And I was thinking, I can just squeeze it. Sure. When they're at full length. But because I eliminated the back part of the torso and the model itself is inherently smaller than the already small kit from like 89 or whatever, I had to shorten those hoses, which again screwed with the geometry. So I cut a little bit out of the depth and I kind of adjusted them and I let them sit and cure or whatever. And I put them in place and it wasn't right and the space was wrong. So I cut them again, and I screamed at them for like an hour one morning. It was horrible. And then I threw them away and I just did it from scratch. And I knew that I was going to have to do them from scratch from the beginning, and I put it off forever because I was like, nah, I can do it. Hey, no, don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. But none of them look good, and I'm happy with the way that it is. I can still take it apart to paint it and put it all back together, which is great. But it does interfere with the helmet that's supposed to fit on its head. So I took my man Julio's advice, who is not here tonight because it is his birthday and he is celebrating right now. Happy birthday, Julio.
Knee deep, or he's elbow deep. I want to say he's elbow deep.
Happy birthday, Julio, from all of us here at the KotoKai Robo-Dojo. Kia, kia.
Enjoy your day, you leaky asshole.
Oh man. Anyways, so I took a page from him, right, and a tip from him, and I have him holding the helmet under the arm in the pose, or that's how I'm gonna do it in the final thing. So give a little bit of fun, like 40K vibe, but also still a strong nod to that core base behind the idea of the core Buildoff, the Vercore, if I am not mistaken, Mr. Paps.
Correct. Yeah, I have answered a similar question before, but for the core Buildoff, you don't have to stick to 1/144 parts. Like if you wanna, make a 1/100 core or Raven or something using 1/100 parts, to make this a lot bigger, and if that's your preference, that's perfectly fine with me. That's well within, I think, acceptable rules, as long as the core is still in there. As long as there is parts of the core in there, doesn't matter at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the F91 kit I'm using is a master grade.
There you go. So, I mean, you're already doing it.
But it's like so narrow, because it is like the early, because they're 89 or whatever. It's like I think this particular kit, the Dinan Zon, was like the first kit, if not one of the first kits to ever have polycaps in them. And so that's why all of the tech is really, really weird. I took a bunch of fun photos of it while I was doing the disassembly and redoing of it all, because like you can see where it's still, they just want to do like regular clamshell, but they're like, well, now I need to find a way to connect a strong point with a ball joint to this clamshell inside, and you get these weird shapes and different pegs and stuff. So that's kind of an interesting experience to reconstruct. While I'm slapping something from 2020 with something from 1989. 30 years, baby.
You don't know where you're going until you know where you've been.
There you go.
Nice.
Thank you, Bilbo.
I was actually quoting Will Smith, but okay, sure. Let's go with that.
Wilbo.
Wilbo.
Prince of Chicago, Chris Pabs.
What?
I said from the Fresh Prince of Chicago, Chris Pabs.
The Fresh Prince of Chicago. That's definitely not me. First of all, I am neither fresh nor prince. And secondly, you don't want to be royalty in Chicago, because that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's like.
Well, fine. Don't take my compliments.
Let me think about. I remember a few pieces of royalty in Chicago. I think they were the Latin Kings.
Mm-hmm. Let's not go there.
They're all over out there, though. Welcome to the Midwest, friends.
Hold on. So the Dencklau asked the question about 15 minutes ago, asking or saying that he's still waiting on that Void review. So I'll give you one right now. So I've been using the Void while I've been building behind you, and it's very good. It takes away the very small particles of resin that I might not be able to catch, even though I'm still wearing a mask. It catches it very well. However, you have to be very close to it to be able to catch that stuff. Like it doesn't just kind of, even if you're just maybe from where I am now to here, it won't be able to get the particles immediately. Like you have to be quite close to it, and you have to be very directional with how you're sanding to be able to get that stuff in there. However, once it catches it great. So it is very good in that regard. It is very quiet. It doesn't cause my table to vibrate, even though the RPMs are quite high. And yeah, I mean, I can turn it on right now. I think it's on, and that's about as loud as it gets. So,
you can't even really hear it.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, this is about as close as I can get my mic to it. But it's already running. I can't hear it. So when I say you have to be close to it, I'm not saying like you have to be like this. Like you just have to be a little bit closer than usual. when you're sanding, and you have to be very purposeful in the direction you're sanding towards, especially if you're working with resin and you don't have the option to wet sand. Before the void, I was using my spray booth, and obviously since that is a higher RPM and it's also a heck of a lot louder, I didn't have to worry too much about which way I was sanding because it was going to capture it regardless of what I was doing. However, with this, since the openings are a lot smaller, it is it's very directional. You just have to be mindful about which way you're going. So yeah. And then Steven's right. Charles Apprentice, you can move the void towards you. It doesn't have to stay a long ways away from you. Yeah, absolutely. You can move it towards you. So if you have the option, so you can just grab it. And the we call it the cord is what, 5 feet maybe? I think
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, 3.5. So thank you, Steven. It's about 3.5. Depending on your setup, I guess. And then filtration, it has one of these. What do you call it, man? I don't remember what it's called. Steven, if you want to help me out, you can let him know. But it's like it's not fiberglass, but it's like cotton, I want to say. Right? So you've got this first layer, and then you've got like another layer. Yeah. Right. So it works fine for resin. I haven't noticed any issues. I've also used it for plastic when I was snapping up like the third high noon. I didn't notice any additional dust. It's kept my worktop cleaner than usual. However, I am still noticing a little bit of dust, but that's just because I go a bit crazy. So yeah. And then the Ngawa says, is it washable, reusable, disposable? I believe it is reusable. Hold on, let me grab something real quick.
Like most filters, the pre-filters are sometimes reusable, but oftentimes the interiors either have to be recycled. Like if in an activated carbon filter system, you oftentimes will have to swap out the activated carbon, or if it's like a HEPA filter situation, you have to replace the HEPA filter as they are built with a determined lifespan.
I'm not sure where the thing went, but it tells you whether or not it's disposable.
Sometimes you can get around some filters by you can vacuum the crap out of the filter a little bit and extend the life, but most of the times it's better to just replace them on a regular schedule for safety.
Yeah. So the thing I pulled out was I guess it's kind of a heavy filter, but it's a little bit thinner. That I think is disposable, and then the honeycomb filter behind that is what you can kind of blow out and kind of clean to be able to keep using, or vacuum it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you can't get a replacement, you can always make your own kind of thin.
Oh, like filter. That. Gotcha. Yeah, because that's what I did with my spray booth. Was I just made my own honeycomb filter out of stacked cardboard. It has to have a certain depth so that it does the thing. It has to cap. Yeah, so.
You stack that bitch.
Yeah. It's just physics, y'all.
But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty good. It's not. I don't think it's. That's all right. Let me see if I can put this in good words. It's good. It's not. I don't think it's necessary. If you have other methods, if you want to wet sand, it's perfectly fine. If you guys have a powerful enough spray booth where you can only direct the suction, it's good. It's just I just don't think it's absolutely necessary.
Right. Yeah. Was it like with me with the I really like the David branding tools, which I still need to make a review for the sander, but they're not for everybody as a modeler. Your average snap builder doesn't necessarily need to go and get the David 400 because they're not going to be needing it for detail sanding contours and custom shit.
Right.
I do, so I don't know if is it that kind of thing where
it makes things easier for you, but you don't necessarily have to use it. It's a convenience thing. It's very quiet. You know, if you're in a spot where you can't use something too loud, or you don't really want moisture around because you might have electrical components everywhere. It's great for that kind of situation. And obviously, if you're working with resin, any additional tool or equipment that will help you keep that dust away from your face. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So I think in that sense, yes, it's great. I just personally, I don't think it's a necessity, but if you can afford it, if you have the extra funds, it's a great tool.
I'd be interested to see how that would work in conjunction with like a room-sized ionizer to to help draw the dust down and help that dust settle as well. Oh, and a Wild Z has appeared. Welcome.
Hi, Z.
What up, guys?
Man, you were a lot quieter than what I was expecting when you did this, and then you just slightly opened your mouth. And I think you were just going, "What's up, guys?"
How's my audio level? I'm trying not to blow out people's speakers because
you sound quiet.
You're not sarcastic enough. Are you okay?
You're being drowned out by everybody else.
No, I'm trying to Okay, how about now? Is that better?
It's the same.
How about now?
That's slightly better, yes.
I realize I need to pick up a microphone versus a shotgun microphone, because living in a space with 5 people and it's smaller, it's not treated, that thing picks up everything. And with a dynamic microphone, it will only be directional and will not pick up anything else.
Sure.
Oh, and look, the minute we start, guess who's here to say hello?
What's up? What's up? Hey, how are you, man?
Whoa, don't push in the desk. Hang on for a second. Just hang on right here. Say hi to Brian and Chris.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Chris.
What's up? How you doing, man? Oh, Johnlin's there too.
Yeah, he said Jay. He said hi, Jay.
Hi. Sorry, I'm pouring right.
What are you doing? You're watching your iPad right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching Ryan on there.
Watching Ryan. I hate Ryan so much.
A lot of parents.
He knows. Okay, go watch.
Baba.
Yeah.
Wanna like this way?
It goes that way?
Yeah.
That's right. See? Yep. All right. Go play. Oh, yeah. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay. Time for you to shut up as well. Everybody's around. So,
hey. Go. Don't lose those, please. They're important. Thank you. See you later.
Zach says, here you go. This is for you, Z.
Uh-oh.
Didn't show it. There you go.
Me too. Or at least I wish I was his parents, because.
Oh wait, yeah. Is this like wealthy child or something?
Yeah, it's that YouTube
child?
Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Exactly.
his toys.
Yeah,
I know you do, little bud.
He has lots of toys. We'd be driving Ferraris, and I mean, the kid makes like, I don't know, $13 million a year or something like that. It's
Wow,
ridiculous.
that sounds a bit
I need them
unnecessary.
too much.
Yeah. It is.
So
very
bad?
unnecessary. Anyways,
What are
sorry.
you up to tonight? You working on stuff? I thought I saw something earlier. But
I've got this. No, I picked up this guy, but I'm not going to start it. I picked up a bit of spam here.
Dude, the BF-109E is one of the fucking best, man. I love that model.
Yeah, so I finally now have my entire World War II kind of the fighter planes of World War II set up. So I've got the Mustang, I've got the Hawk, the Kitty Hawk, I've got I've got this, I've got the other one, I forget the name of it all of a sudden. But
Do you have the jet? 262? Nice.
Yeah, the Messerschmitt 262. Yeah,
Get that
I've
Spitfire.
got that.
And have that Spitfire.
I've got
Do you have
Spitfire.
the Focke-Wulf? Do you have the Focke-Wulf, the bomber? No, it's the
I
Horde.
do not have the bomber. That's gonna be so. That's the bomber. I was trying to go with the Ace Combat, kind of like just
Oh, okay,
you know.
cool.
But I will.
Wait,
I
they
do
have-
want to build a
They don't have
bomber.
that stuff in 7, do they?
172 scale.
No, they don't have that stuff in Ace Combat 7, do they? You were talking about Ace Combat for a second there.
I meant like a fighter pilot aces.
Okay, good,
Like-
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think they have it in Ace Combat 7. But yeah, so I finally got that, and I was gonna start it. I was talking to these guys about it today. But our good friend Miguel there has also been pushing my butt to get started on the Hainu. Like Pabs is working on, I think, 5 of them right now. So I'm gonna start that. I'm gonna put everything else aside and start the Hainu resin conversion and see if Miguel and I can push each other to get it done sooner than later.
Hell yeah. There you go. That's awesome. I'm jealous. Soon I think that I sent my my offering to the Gunpla gods out in the mail today, and soon hopefully I will be receiving a return on that, and I'll be able to start on my own. As I
Yes, that's
waiting.
right. That
Yeah,
is
so
right.
a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue. We should all try and work on being better at being patient.
I know. But I agree. But except for with USPS right now, especially when
Oh,
you
fuck.
send out 7 packages and 6 out of 7 make it.
Yeah, USPS is not high on my list of cool people. They're like, it's real spotty. It's like going to a
Right.
chain restaurant, or a franchise restaurant, where it's like each one is going to be a little bit different. So like if you go
Yeah.
to the restaurant in this town, it might be like okay, but if you go to maybe the other side of town or even like the next town over, it's going to be like stellar. So
Right. Exactly. But yeah, hopefully Jay will get her large project soon as well. And you will get yours. So I called him, right? So I called him and like it was an 1.5 hour wait. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. And waited an 1.5 hours. And when it got to my turn, it just dropped me. Right, of course, right?
of course.
So like the next day I called him again. And this time they gave me an option to, hey, we'll call you. Just get off the phone, give us your number, and we'll call you when it's your number in queue. So I was like, cool. So I did that. And then they finally called me. And when they called, it was another automated voice. And it was like, you can do this over text messaging. Would you like to do that instead? I was like, at this point, I don't care. As long as it's a person, fine. So they finally started texting me. And I'm like, here's what happened. I sent out 7 boxes. 6 of them made it.
Mhm.
Why has this one literally gone to downtown Chicago and just not moved since December 22nd or whatever that was? And the lady's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Yes, we're experiencing a delay. We're a shortage in people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I get all that. But there's no update. All I want is an update. I don't care if it gets there in another month, but just I want to see something move versus saying it got to downtown Chicago and then it never went anywhere else. And she's like, actually, I don't work for the post office. I'm just like a temporary person who can't help you.
Exactly. Just like a
Yeah.
telemarketer fielding calls and reading a script.
Yeah, so it was of no help whatsoever, except for the fact that she said she will open a case and someone will investigate within 30 days to get back to me. So in 30 days, Jay, you may or may not have an answer to where your unicorn is.
If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Oh, there's
it
no
better happen.
goddamn way in hell. It's not happening.
It
all
better
right?
It's better happen. I mean, that's an expensive.
Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
expensive.
I mean, I know, but
We know you have a kind heart, John Lennon. Your intentions are all in the right place, but at the same time,
Mm-mm, exactly. 3 snaps in a Z formation. All right.
Yeah, no way. Don't steal my shit. Like, don't steal my friend's shit.
Exactly, man. Like I'm like, even if like I told them, hey, listen, it's worth $300. I paid, this odd, crazy amount of money to ship it.
Mhm.
And if you lose it, you lose it, but give me my money. That way I can order another one.
Right.
So it's one way or another, you're going to get it, Jay.
Speaking of, by the way, so Zach says we basically shut off orders from December 15th to December 30th because of the USPS issues. Speaking of Galactic, they did just get a couple of new resin kits in.
Oh, which ones?
So on top of the Madwix one, they did also just get in the Lab Zero Silver Bullet Suppressor conversion kit. I don't know if you guys remember what that looks like, but it's pretty fucking sick.
Pab's getting it.
I already bought it, bro.
You already got it.
This is the thing with being friends with Zach. Zach tells you what he gets, and I'm like, okay, fine. Just put it together. Send it
It's
out.
true. It's true. He told me he had a Phantom, and I bought it, not realizing that Phantom has 5,000 parts and 3,000 stickers.
You're fucking kidding me.
It's the most detailed. It's like it's the most detailed Phantom kit like I think ever made.
I checked; it was delivered, so I went, and yours is.
Oh, look what showed up.
I literally just placed a claim about this
Yeah.
like an hour and 10 minutes ago.
It might show up.
What the fuck? I gotta go. The rep that helped me out, I gave him 5 stars across the board. So well done.
Hey, there you
sir.
go.
All for this. This is why I got heated. Because of this right here.
That coffee's important, man.
This is my subscription. This shit usually comes on like the 20th of last month.
Oh,
Yeah. I had a ration. I had a week and a half buffer, and we ran out of that like 4 or 5 days ago. We're reaching extreme situation here. We don't fuck around. He understands my coffee addiction.
yeah, totally. I mean,
I need to,
drink
like-
crappy coffee right now.
I need to get a hold of Amazon after this and rebuke their refund. They're gonna try and refund me some loot. I'm gonna send it back to them because that ain't right. I appreciate them for doing the right thing, but you got to do the right thing back, guys. You got to do that.
You're a nicer man than I.
Hey.
There's certain things I believe in with karma, but not giving Amazon their money back is not one of them. When the guy makes like 45 billion a year sitting on his ass, I think $20 is going to be all right. You know?
Mhm. I don't
But
know.
it's good. It's good. It's your, like, you gave that guy 5 stars. Boom, karma. You got your package. So
Yeah,
right.
shocked.
Put good out.
Didn't expect it. I was like waiting for the shit to roll through, and I'd be like, gonna place that order again and wait.
Yep.
I got this fucking badass French press, which just so happens to be sitting on the table next to me that I haven't had a chance to use yet, right? And I want to use it, and you got to have coarse ground coffee, and all I have is fine ground coffee, like the best that I could find in the neighborhood, which is a pale comparison to Death Wish. Oh yeah,
Well, I always look at these every time I go to IKEA. I always look at the French presses because they're like $3, I think. Like,
yeah,
you
they're
know,
not super.
yeah. And I was like, want to get one and try it, but I've never, as much as I love it drinking coffee, I've never bothered to get a French
Oh,
press.
it's
I love them.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
You will
different.
have yourself a good time.
I don't
Yeah.
use mine for coffee. I use mine for tea, but it's just a great.
For what? For tea?
Yeah.
Mm.
Cause I mainly buy loose leaf tea.
Oh sure.
Mhm.
I got a couple of years ago. I got Colleen a black ceramic stoneware teapot that she'd been using for a couple of years, and then this last year I found out that that is specifically used for brewing like black teas because the ceramic absorbs the flavors like a cast iron, right? And it makes for better tea in the long run. And that for the green tea she does, because she does loose leaf tea as well, Junlin. So the green tea, I got her a different one, which is a clear glass with like a little like a basket that sits inside of it, like a pretty decent one. And yeah, she's been using that for her green tea, and then her I can't remember the name of that fancy Chinese tea that I get her. It's like
But the type?
in like a disc, and it's like you can break it apart to.
Oh,
to get-
matcha.
Not even.
Matcha.
No.
Sa-
Like,
sama?
it's a semi or some. No, that's a knife. It's something like it's something weird like that. I can't remember exactly what it is.
I like green tea. I probably
That's
like green
black-
tea
the
more than I
black
like
tea I'm
coffee.
talking about. That stuff is black tea, though. It is dark tea.
Dark? Tart?
Yeah. Dark.
Oh.
Dark black.
I'll be right back. My pizza's ready.
Of course it is.
Pizza.
He timed the song wrong.
Still on the same show.
Man looks so happy to get his pizza.
Is it like giving you?
So happy.
Probs, what are you doing right now?
I am going through some old photos.
Anything good?
I can
Who?
neither confirm nor deny.
What kind
Cool.
of photos? Oh,
Shoo.
shoot.
And it says Pew. Puerht.
I see.
It's some fancy shit.
Sounds fancy.
It's good. So my goal this evening is to try and find a good way to Z disappeared. We're gonna disappear Z. He'll come back.
He's getting his pizza.
Yeah, it's fine. I respect that. I am a pizza lover myself. So the thing that I'm next tasked with, now that I have the form, the fit, and the function on that, is pretty tight. I need to figure out how to turn that into something cool.
Let's see it.
The Shot
see.
Lancer. Quality.
Make it into a spear.
No, it will stay a
Oh.
Shot Lancer because I'm sticking with that theme. I have this really cool little image. I shared it somewhere. Pabs knows what I'm talking about. It was like a Demons on in silhouette form, but
Yes.
this looks pretty cool in that, and I need to like that. So New York pizza, Brian. I do make New York pizza pretty damn good. Actually, just finished up my leftovers. We had some the other night. My dough was really, really good from this last weekend. I can't remember what exactly I did right. I think it was the weather was a little bit colder and I used a little bit less oil in it, and it made the dough a little bit more like it was a little bit more dense, but it was still thin and like crispy. A little bit of pliability to it still. It was good. And wifey always does the sauce, so we're a unbeatable team. I challenge you, pizza makers out there, in the model making world, in the Gunpla world.
Can I be
Colleen
the
and-
judge of that?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna have a pizza party when the world moves again, when they figure out what gears is wrong and everything starts to spin again, like in the right way, and we're not gonna die. We'll get together and have a big ass pizza party. Maybe I'll have a place with a yard at that point where I can have a real pizza oven and just cook them shits outside.
There you go. Holy shit.
As you know, I'm gonna have a gigantic ass brick barbecue with a pizza stone in it. It's gonna happen. Pour. There it is. Pour.
Poor. I'm trying to find the very first
Episode
kits I've ever built.
Miguel, episode 3 is the 16th, so it is a week from Saturday. I need to put together a submission.
Uh-oh. For what?
Critiqual.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I'm debating if I want to do some coasters tonight. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mix up and pour some coasters. We were talking about what we plan on doing tonight.
Coasters?
Coasters. For your drinks.
Sure. I get it. Do it. Why-
So Stephen Zarecki, Charles Apprentice, says, have I tried any Mediterranean pizza at any of the pizza places near me? And I have had a bunch of Napoli style pizza. I haven't had a chance to try real. There was one kind that there was a pizza spot that was open on Grand Avenue in Williamsburg that made a pie that was basically like the pan, and then it had like a fair amount of oil in it, and the crust was almost deep fried in the oil in the pan, and it was like super duper thick and doughy and like soft, but like the heck of cheese and like really really rich tomato sauce. And then they got shut down. So,
Why?
yeah, because that's just what happens. They're like, apparently the word on the street was that one of their ovens was broken. And then it was that, and then they were shut down while they were trying to fix that, and then they got evicted in between there. So, because of the rollover, baby, it's real estate.
Of course.
Oh.
Of course.
Pizza
back.
time!
He's eating his pizza.
Pizza time!
And
I'll just let him eat. I'm not gonna make Z eat on stream. That's not fair.
What he does.
it's not the first time
Yeah, I
he's
know, but so let the man have pizza in private.
No.
Yeah, I do a bunch of different kinds of pizzas here at my spot. What were you saying, Pep? I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying no.
Yeah, no, I make a bunch of different kinds of pizzas at my spot. I make like a real super duper thin crust on like a flat cast. I make like a super duper deep dish. I also do like a stuffed where it's like the deep dish of crust that isn't like thick, mind you. It's just like thin that goes around, and then there's like a thin layer of pie, like a pizza pie. And then yeah, inside of that is like a loaf of delicious, you know. Colleen is always doing amazing vegetarian concoctions. So she's doing like pear and balsamic and like, what do? You do weird stuff. Give me some
Doing
pizza.
weird things.
What kind of pizzas do you make? You're on the spot and you can't think of any
I
of them.
think about the caramelized onion and pear pizza.
Yeah, caramelized onion and pear is one.
Can he cook that for me?
John Lynn says, can you cook that for her? She uses a bunch of vegan stuff. She's like a lot of weird creative stuff. She's always doing like
Homemade, like bechamel cheese.
yeah, lots of bechamel for cheese, because she does like, you know, no cheese because she's like vegan vegetarian. You know, Kyle would love that. Except for the fact that there is no.
Or can she ship it to New Hampshire though?
No, because New Hampshire is like Alaska for the East Coast. Nobody goes up there.
You don't know how incredibly sad you've made me.
It's not true. It's not true. That's Maine.
Maine is a myth. No one go to Maine.
It's a myth. I'm going to Maine. Zach Blake says that he loves thin crust, and I too love thin crust. But you know what? I also love deep dish. So that's the thing. I like Chicago pizza, and I also like deep dish pizza. They are separate. Got to get that thin crust. It's got to be cooked good. That's why I like the cast iron, because it gives it like a really, really hard cook on the outside of the crust. And so you get like a really good crisp to it. And then you still get that pliable dough on the inside, which is very, very valuable in pizza. It can't be like, I mean, I get the cracker pizza with it and it's just like explodes, but like, you know, I kind of get that. But at the same time, if there's a grease quotient, like the cooked grease, yeah. There's this spot in Brooklyn called the Nonna Rosa, and they make an amazing, like they call it a traditional New York style pizza, and the sauce, the cheese, and the fried grease on the outside, it's just heavenly. I'm gonna make Z go make another pizza just from talking about pizza. He's like, what? Like, what's the
Dude.
Those eyebrows.
First of all, caramelized onions, pears, and gorgonzola cheese on a pizza is fire.
Oh yeah, babe. Z says
Fire.
onions, pears, and gorgonzola.
Fire.
So you put together. We can get you fancy cheese. I'll buy you fancy cheese.
Fire!
Absolutely.
It is so good. And then Zach, you're confusing deep dish with Chicago style. Two different things.
Two
Yeah.
very, very different things.
Yeah,
One is a
the
souffle.
Chicago style pizza is like a flat pizza. It's like bar pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bar pizza, exactly.
Yeah. And then like deep dish is a whole different thing. That's like a creation.
Yeah.
And everybody's different.
And
I'm
it was made
very-
for tourists.
I'm very sad because the best pizza we have right here in New Hampshire is Domino's, if that tells you anything.
Wow.
You know what? I feel like for the deep dish stuff, someone was just making the crust and go, "Hey, man, let's see how much we can hold in it without it leaking."
Yeah. That's
Like,
really it.
so
That's pretty much it.
if you guys don't know, Pizzeria Uno, which is a chain
Mm-hmm.
that started in Chicago, started that
I
as a
refrain
tourist thing.
from bringing this up. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so they started it as like a tourist thing because that location, the original location, is kind of like smack dab in the middle of the most touristy area of all of Chicago. Like literally in the middle of like where Rock and Roll McDonald's is and all that. So way back then, it was just kind of like a touristy thing. And it came known as Chicago style pizza, but it's really not. Chicago style pizza is pub style pizza. Like the bread is crunchy, it's soft, and
Yep.
you got toppings galore. There's barely any sauce on it, but it's just good. Melty cheese.
Yeah, no, it's all balanced. It's a very,
Yeah.
very balanced pie. Like New York pizzas tends to be a little bit greasy and a little cheese heavy. The sauce
Yeah,
tends
so-
to be a little thinner.
Zach says, "I'm talking about the pizza that is served at Giordano's." Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, that the deep dish is. Yeah, every time my wife and I tried. So like my family, when they did come down for my wedding, they wanted to try deep dish, and every time I ate deep dish, man, it made me feel sweaty and greasy and just bloated. I don't know what I was like. I didn't know what to do with my stomach. I don't know, man. It was just it's not a good time, you know.
I enjoy it from time to time, but not always. Thin crust from your style is kind of like probably my favorite. Like right now,
Agreed.
this is so.
I like a thicker crust. I don't like the super thin crust.
Barbecue chicken.
That's dope. I like a barbecue chicken pizza.
Yeah.
I must say.
Yo, Ariel's here. What up, Ariel?
Hello, AO_Mecca.
Hey, AO, drop that damn track I want.
See, Zach says I could eat like 1 to 2 pieces, which just feels bad. I can't even get one. I eat like half. I'm like, oh man.
You have a frail disposition.
I don't have like. Come on now, man. Internal
You,
bleeding will do that to you.
True. Sorry, Pat. I'm not trying to.
A
No.
bougie.
That's one of my.
I mean,
That's one of my deep dishes.
Yeah,
See, that's a beautiful skillet pizza.
exactly.
That's
I can't have pizza because I can't have dairy.
it's
Well-
it's almost 1 3/4, about 1 3/4 tall. more than 2 fingers.
Gino's is alright.
Geno's is overrated. I genuinely think it's
Very
overrated. It's just because everybody talking about you guys. Have you guys been to Geno's?
Oh, Gino's East.
It's okay.
You guys want good pizza when you come to Chicago? You need to go to the original Pequod's in Morton Grove.
Mm-hmm. I will never forget my first day. So my wife and I had just been dating for maybe 6 or 7 months, and I was just about to meet her parents, and I was very nervous. She was like, "Well, let's go get something to eat." We went to the original Pequod's, and it was oh my god, I felt so good. I felt confident walking in that house. Like, hello, my name is Pabs. I am your future son-in-law. Shake my fucking hand. That's what good pizza does for you.
Oh, what was this one?
Rosemont. No, Rosemont is right by the airport, so you're probably not going to find great pizza near there at all.
Oh yeah, this
You
was
find out-
chicken, turkey, bacon, broccoli, and then ranch.
Hey, that looks pretty good.
the one in Rosemont.
Yeah, so that was a Gino's East because it's literally like 2 blocks from Rosemont Convention Center.
Yeah, everything's held at Rosemont Convention Center.
Yeah. So that's like chain food hell, bro.
You want some good Brazilian steakhouse food? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yo, Miguel, I'm not even gonna look. I'm not looking at your IG messages for at least a month now until IG automatically deletes it for not reading it.
After was it Miguel who sent that photo, or was it somebody else? Yeah.
No.
After that, I'm always wary of any kind of images sent to me by anybody now that I don't talk to on a regular basis.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Oh man, I think
I'm just looking at this one. This is one that Carl had made. I think this one is butternut squash, leek, and cabbage with a white sauce. Wait, was it? What? Butternut squash, roasted sage, vegan bacon, and then some sort of onion, some sort of like Italian chick or maybe some kind of Spanish.
I do enjoy my protein in my pizza, but when looking at that, that looks fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very tasty.
If you do like vegetables, like that kind of vegetables on pizza, and you do it right, it's delicious.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we've been experimenting for a long time. Once she found out that I was a doughboy and I found out that she was a saucy lady, it was all over.
Name a better combo. Right? I said Brian Pizza King. He said, and meet the Pizza Queen.
Yep. Gotta be real.
Ariel, I'm going to give you some advice right now. Don't go anywhere with Manny in New York. You're going to end up in like places you don't want to be in.
Some kind of tub. Somebody's tub.
No. Ariel and Manny and I and Julio are gonna go out and have a good time. We'll get Squee in there.
Give me the big screen, Brian. Give me the big screen.
Okay, you got it.
He wants his Les Mis close-up, please.
Look at that bouquet.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
No.
It's not GTA, bro.
Julio and Manny are supposed to get me fried chicken.
I thought I was seriously watching a scene from Les Mis.
I like that bouquet though. That was good. The focus. I don't have that.
He's got that nice Sony Alpha. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh.
Boom.
The depth of field.
Oh yeah, I wanted to one up Ariel because he said he had an A6000. So I went out and bought an A6400. He said he had 1.8, so I went out and bought a 1.4. Just kidding.
If you go to, well, I mean, I'm not going to Manhattan now, but
No.
once things settle down, I'll eventually. I assume that I will eventually go back to the city. Yeah, I'm right there. You have a model here waiting for you. I need to ship it to you after I make instructions. It's all done. Yours is the only one that's complete. Everyone else is mostly
in
done.
New York. Like after the whole like kind of Renaissance and gentrification stuff, but out of all the places in New York, I found Brooklyn and Harlem to have like the best food joints, like where you can still find like good, kind of down to earth, like great food to eat, and like versus like bougie and all that. Harlem and Brooklyn are my favorite spots.
Yeah.
I like mom and pop places. I really don't like, the ones where you have to get dressed up and you pay like $100 for. It's good. It must be good, but I just don't vibe with it. I like the mom and pop shops.
A lot of places in Brooklyn, though, I mean, because of the quality of food and like just the where you are, you can go to a place where you don't have to get dressed up, but you're still definitely going to spend more than $100.
No, I mean not $100 altogether, but like $100 an entree, or like
Oh yeah,
an
that's
insane amount.
I've had some really, really good food though. I'm not gonna lie. Even like not mom and pop spots like that. I had a really amazing meal after hours one night at Heat in Chicago. It was astounding, and it was more than $100 a pop for that meal. But it was private, so that's to be expected.
I mean, you can get in Chicago nowadays. A bowl of ramen is like $35.
Oh, Depending on where you're going. If you're in Brooklyn, if you go to Ichiran down in Johnson, or if you're in the city or whatever, like you're gonna go and pay easy. You're gonna pay, 35, whatever. And that's like if you only have one beer, and like you really kind of get like you get like a tokatsu egg. You don't get like an increase or like one of the marinated eggs. That's it.
Zach, man, Manhattan, Upper
Good
Manhattan.
night, William
Nice.
Wine. Thanks for catching it, man. Glad you could make it, bro.
Yeah, Upper Manhattan. Well, I mean, Manhattan's nice, but once you learn the train system and you can get out, New York is fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
If you can't get out, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You can get out. Trust.
Just don't drive. Don't try to drive in the city.
Driving's okay. You just have to know where to go, when, and
You have to know
how.
where to go. Like if you can walk or take the train, you're set, man. You're set.
Having been here for 15 years, I know mostly where to drive and where not to drive, how to get to places. So, lucky. Knock on workbench.
Zach Black says, next time I go to New York Comic Con or Toy Fest, someone needs to show me where to go.
I got you, Zach. Come on now. I got you.
Come on, said. Come on.
I got you. You know it. You just let me know when you're going to be here, and I will arrange for that shit to work out.
Once this is all over, I'm thinking a trip to Michigan might be long overdue.
Oh, yeah.
I think
as soon as we can travel again, Colleen and I are going to go so many places.
Yeah, I think this time Zach needs to come to Chicago and get the proper, non-Rosemont experience.
Comes to Chicago. Ooh, Rosemont. All right.
Oh, when this gets over, the first place I'm going is North Carolina to visit Joel and Holy Mountain and stuff, and then California, and then New York.
But wait, you can go to New York first, probably, then North Carolina, and then to Cali. More efficient, I think.
That sounds more efficient.
It is, but it's a list of where I really want to go first. I want barbecue.
How often have you been on a plane, gentlemen?
I'm gonna go make a drink.
Yo, I need Ariel to go to Harlem and do the whole Joker scene on the steps.
Oh my god, I know where that is. There's
Me
no
too.
spot close to there. I was always gonna skate, but I never skated it.
I've been on an airplane plenty of times. I mean, granted, it was mainly the Pittsburgh airport, but that's a nice airport. I actually love Pittsburgh's airport.
When you do a lot of traveling, especially on airplanes, what you usually find yourself eventually doing is picking and choosing the most efficient route so that you are on the least amount of time on an airplane ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, it's not like riding a low one after another. 3-week vacation.
Gotcha.
Okay, with Rhino.
No, please continue, Mom.
Okay, with Rhino.
I've offended the Pabbies.
No, you have not offended me. I'm saying what I'm trying to tell you is from somebody who's traveled a lot. Like, just you want to try to be efficient with how you travel. But if you're breaking it up into different sections, then what I'm saying is completely invalid and move.
This man climbed a mountain called the Mountain.
It's literally called the Bend. The Bend in Gaelic is mountain. It's called the Mountain.
I mean, if shit goes fine next year, almost with my resume.
As someone who travels for work, I am definitely missing travel right now, for sure.
It's different. It hits different.
Mm-hmm.
Miss being able to go to Boston.
Me too. I love Boston.
I don't even like Boston.
I do. I love Boston. It's one of my favorite cities.
You haven't lived there.
Yeah, I mean, living somewhere is different, but as far as a city to visit and have fun in, it's a very pedestrian-friendly city, and it's not really big at all. And I love like historical places, and Boston is very historical. So for me, it was just
Ironically, my favorite part of Boston is the seafood port.
Mhm.
I can't eat there. I just like going there because it's just a fun little like
I like the
culture view.
smell.
It's a fun little culture view. You got, I mean, big Italian places down there, and then you go to North End.
Oh my god, the best shrimp diablo I've ever had in my life was in the North End. Um,
Restaurant
and then
down.
the second, I think, no, the first oldest bar in all of America is in Boston. It's literally
Yeah,
in
by
the, on the
Faneuil Hall.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit like past the well, not Nathaniel Hall, but it's like kind of in that area. Of course, the Cheers bars there and whatnot, right? But it's called the Bell in Hand, and this thing was founded like in 17, like
I
I
love
don't
it.
know, like 63. It's so old, and it was just a fun bar to be at. But yeah, and you get cannolis at Mike's. They're freaking amazing. Cash only if you're gonna go there. Cash only.
Union Oyster House.
Yes, I have. I love oysters, so yes.
Oh,
And then there's a seafood place called one of the chain seafood places. I forget the name, but I think it's called like Stations or something. It's a very basic name. But the seafood there is great all over the place. Boston is. I like Boston. It's a fun town.
Like going to the North End. Some of the best Italian food is in these freaking mom and pop places.
Unagawa says he went to Boston, tried talking to people on the bus, and that was a mistake. Yes, don't talk to anybody on the bus. Like I even went to Southie. Like I went to Southie after a Red Sox game. I actually saw what's J Lo's boyfriend, husband, fiance name? A-Rod.
Some dude. He's very rich.
A-Rod. I saw A-Rod's last game in Boston against the Red Sox. So some good experiences in Boston for me. I love that.
So one time I was on Main Street in Boston, which, for those of you who don't know, is probably the richest street in New England. And I was doing HVAC work with my dad. He does a lot of the HVAC work for the tech companies. This lady drops her purse. And I'm like, here you go. And she's like, why are you touching my purse? It's like a $10,000 Prada bag. And I'm like, ma'am, I am just a child trying to be nice. Boston people, either nice or no. Either way.
It's one or the other. There's no like just everyone kind of like cordial and just nice. It's either they're nice or they're not.
If they're not nice, you gotta know how to deal with not Boston nice. Because you gotta throw an attitude back. It's the only way you can talk to these people.
You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Wait. Ariel worked at Tim Hortons HQ. You got a hookup on Timbits, bro? Like, oh, it said he quit. He resigned after 8 months.
I miss traveling now. This conversation just makes me sad. I want to go back to Pittsburgh.
Dude, Miguel is out here putting out these thirst traps that I'm not gonna fall for. Just it ain't gonna work. Just I'm not checking my messages, bro.
These are not the droids.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, it fit, Ariel? Did it fit right?
Second cup for 9 months and Starbucks 9. You've been working at Starbucks for 9 years?
Yes. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ariel. It's been like half a month in New York, just sitting in like the Brooklyn distribution center. I was really fearing that it wasn't gonna make it to Canada. It did.
Sometimes you just have to threaten, and your shit will show up. I don't know how that works, but it's dumb.
I'm not a
You gotta-
I'm not a very intimidating person. When something generally goes wrong with my mail, I send my mom in. Because the last time I went in there with my mail, I got a massive attitude from like, because we have a distribution center here, I got a massive attitude from the manager because one of my packages left outside and was stolen. And it was the wings from the Destiny Burst mode that Justinius Build sent me. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't have like waited so long to get your mail. I'm like, you left it outside of the mailbox, on the ground. And so I send her in now because she's loud, she's noisy, vastly more intimidating. The space doesn't do it for anyone.
That's not a dumb question, Michael. And Pabs can answer it for you.
Question. This may sound dumb, but how do I use a supersonic cleaner?
You mean like an autoclave?
Very, very carefully. So the first thing that I always tell people whenever they want to use a supersonic, an ultrasonic cleaner, you got me saying supersonic. It's actually an ultrasonic cleaner. Is always just generally just use regular water in there. Sometimes you can use purified, distilled, whatever. Just water is probably your best option. If you're wanting to use anything harsher than water, I would use the I can't remember what it's called, the cup method. Put a cup in there, same level as the water. Place your items in there, and let it vibrate that way. You don't want the vibrations to hyper excite the molecules in harsher chemicals, causing flammable liquids to turn into gas, making it very, very flammable. So you're essentially baking chemicals in there, so that you don't want that to happen. Use water. So, Michael, is there something specific you're wanting to use an ultrasonic cleaner for, or because I would be able to cover something a little more specific if there is something you're wanting to use it for?
Miguel
I
is
got-
obviously giving bad advice.
I got mine in
Freddie's giving bad advice.
last week. And I love this thing. I cleaned all my airbrushes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put ISO in it?
I have the Iolata airbrush cleaner that I use.
Mm-hmm.
I just put a tiny bit in and it gets the job done.
Yep.
But small, compact, comes with the basket. Adorable.
I use this for my really, really gentle cleaning stuff as well. The Iwata Medea.
So Michael Toast says he's cleaning pots for all your kids. If you're doing nothing but cleaning regular old Bandai plastic, which if you're just trying to get rid of like dust and all that stuff, just a little bit of tepid water mixed in with 1 or 2 cups of dishwashing liquid, and then just run that for maybe 2 or 3 minutes is more than enough for what you need it for. Obviously, let it dry for a couple of hours. Make sure it's not dry when you start painting, or make sure it's not wet when you start painting, and then you're all set. You're off to the races. That's all it is.
Yeah, you don't want to put like a reducer or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. You don't want to put any like ethyl products or anything alcohol related.
Absolutely nothing flammable. So what Freddie was wrong
Be okay.
doing wrong. Yeah,
You might be okay, but if you're not okay, you are very not okay.
there is somebody who 3D prints a lot that I kind of follow and know on a personal level. He was using a lot of isopropyl alcohol to obviously clean his resin prints, and he was using it in an ultrasonic cleaner. And what he essentially started to do was bake the isopropyl alcohol within the ultrasonic cleaner. So, it would vibrate at obviously ultrasonic speed, causing the molecules to charge, causing them to go faster, heating up the element, and eventually his ultrasonic cleaner got gunked up at the bottom. It baked all of that ISO on at the bottom, started to build up, and then the next time he used it, it actually started to kind of spark and burst into flames. So please do not do that. Don't risk the chance of that happening. I mean, it could be a low chance, it could be a medium chance, but it's better to have no chance of that happening than having some. So just practice safe use of tools, and should be okay.
So Freddie was trying to make horror plot happen in real life. Don't listen to Freddie.
Brian, I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. Ariel, I don't know about Windex. I know a lot of Windex has lately they've been putting ammonia and other weird chemicals like ammonia D and stuff like that in Windex, and that might be the lemon pledge. Miguel, you're gonna have to go and buy the lemon pledge yourself. But so I don't know about Windex. I would say at best dilute it dramatically because the water is doing all the work. It really is the friction of the water molecules against the object itself, and that's why they use it for cleaning tattoo nails and stuff like that. It's because it isn't solvent or abrasive or anything wild like that. It just cleans.
It's literally a catalyst, causing the massive, the insane amount of vibrations to remove, like hard to remove stains and stuff like that you wouldn't normally either see or be able to get rid of. It's just don't use anything harsh directly into the ultrasonic cleaner. Be safe, be cautious. A couple of drops of dishwashing liquid in water is absolutely fine. If you're having to use something more harsh, then again use the cup method. Put a glass in the middle of the ultrasonic cleaner, put some water in this ultrasonic cleaner itself, then put the chemical that you need in there. That's the method I use to clean out lacquer paint from my airbrushes. Works absolutely fine. And there is no chance of the harsh chemicals from fucking exploding in my face.
And like
I don't need to this.
Adding the dishwashing liquid, a couple of drops, that is just literally lowering the surface tension. That is the whole idea behind soap. Is it lowers the surface tension of the water, allowing it to become more wet in its own way. This can also happen within the autoclave or the ultrasonic cleaner itself, because what happens is the molecules become excited, and then as they gain energy, they stretch and elongate, and it makes it easier for them to become more permeable. The same thing happens if you take a bucket of water and you whip it one direction and then you whip it the other direction, then you do this like for 30 seconds one direction, 30 seconds the other direction for like a couple of hours. What you end up with is a bunch of foam, because the water itself stretches, electrostatically stretches the water molecules, making it wetter, and it causes foam and bubbles. It's like really kind of a crazy physics experiment if you want to try it. But
yeah,
it takes a lot of time and a lot of elbow grease. Yeah. But it's like that's what the machine does itself. That's why you don't have to add anything to it. The water, it actually becomes more wet because of science.
Absolutely.
Expedite it with soap. That's why I put soap in our dishwater. It's the same thing, but like without all the elbow grease.
Yeah. I mean that's essentially just be safe. Yeah.
Go raid them, Gawa. See you later.
Have fun. If you guys have any more questions, send them my way and I'll ask Brian and Pabs.
Thanks.
Do them apart. Do them apart. It's like you guys remember that leprechaun video, the Alabama leprechaun? It was like that.
I do. I like that we both cut our heads sideways.
So I think it's in the early 2000s. People in Mobile, Alabama, saw a leprechaun in a tree. Somebody did, and it became like a neighborhood thing, to the point where the news covered it. So there's hundreds of people out there, like, like, who else seen a leprechaun? Say yeah. To the point where one dude put on like a bulletproof vest, got a piece of like 3/4 or whatever, like steel pipe, drilled some holes in it, called it a flute. And he said, mind you, he's African American. And he's out there directing traffic to the people who are now coming to see the leprechaun. And he's all like, don't be afraid. I'm just doing my part. Just don't be afraid. And they're like, who are you? He's like, my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was from Ireland. And this flute and this vest was given to me by him to protect people from leprechauns. like he would literally just, and he kept saying, I'm just doing my part to keep the neighborhood safe. Like, it was, if you guys haven't seen it, it's like a very famous internet clip on YouTube. Just Google Alabama leprechaun. There's even like an amateur sketch of someone drawing what the leprechaun looks like. And it legit looks like the dude off a Lucky Charms box. Like, it was hilarious. See, Jonathan knows what I'm talking about. It was hilarious.
I was going to say, where's John Lynn? Because she's our resident cryptid expert.
Right? Exactly. I bet you she knows about the Alabama leprechaun.
We'll ask her when she gets back, for sure.
Yeah.
A topic worthy of discussion.
Yeah.
The Alabama.
My apprentice here says, if y'all ever come to Michigan, let me know. Would love to meet you dudes. We've been there twice.
We have been there.
Twice.
I haven't been to Michigan since 2006.
So Michael Dawson has a follow-up question. How long will let pods sit in an ultrasonic cleaner with dish soap overnight? I don't know if you heard me earlier, Michael. I said let your ultrasonic cleaner run for about 3 minutes, then take it out, take it out, put it in a strainer, and then rinse out the rest of the dish soap kind of water mixture, and then let it air dry on a towel. And then when it's dry, then you're feel free to prime and paint. You just make sure all the parts are nice and dry and there's no streaks or anything like that or any stains, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's a quick process, or it should be, unless you've got some serious gunk. Like I had some technical pens that I used to use back when I was a teenager. I think I got them when I was like 10, and then when I was 18, I was apprenticing under a tattooist. And he kindly showed me the proper way to clean them and then used his autoclave to help me get everything on tip-top shape. And it was amazing, the amount that came out. And I realized then that I sucked at what I was doing and I needed to get better.
Hey, Michael, also, don't leave your chewing gum on your bedpost overnight either. It's going to lose its flavor.
Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Wow.
Most definitely does.
Wow.
I tried that experiment once. Julio's not here. Julio's not here to shit talk and make jokes.
There's a couple of people that get that. And we are two of them. Maybe we are only those two.
They're too young. They're like, what the hell did he say?
Yeah. Babs is too young. Look at us.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I was getting some messages. What was happening?
Bro, chewing gum flavor overnight. Come on.
Wait, that's for you old timers.
Yeah.
But is Miguel still here? Guess whose message is never going to be checked?
Pabs.
Nope. Miguel's. Zach, I'm sorry. All regular Skittles are the same flavor, but they have different scent.
No, they just have a different color.
Yeah, just like Tricks.
The only difference in flavor is like blue number 4, red number 5, yellow number 2.
Yeah, Tricks cereal also. Same flavor. So just like Fruit Loops. They're all the same flavor, just different colors.
Yeah.
I am back.
But Apple Jacks, not the same as Fruit Loops.
Not the same.
Different story.
What we like.
Yep. Well, they have a different spread.
What conversation are we on now?
So you missed out on Z.
I'm trying to think.
Please
Jake,
inform.
do you know about the Alabama leprechaun?
Is this an actual cryptid or is he trying to be funny?
No. Like, do you remember the news, the sightings? Like the whole, it became like a giant like meme gag thing where people in Mobile, Alabama, were like seeing a leprechaun in a tree.
No.
You don't remember this? Okay, I'll show you guys later. Fucking Miguel. Look at this. Look at this. No.
Joke's on you. It's a redeemable code for $500 on Amazon.
I do not want your $500 for Amazon.
Apple Jacks. Michael Dawson says that the Apple Jacks are the master race of cereal. First and foremost, that is a bold statement for anything. Secondarily, just like the master race thing.
I mean, I'm old fashioned. I like the plain Cheerios.
I'm gonna have to give it to like Captain Crunch.
Oof. Captain Crunch is good.
Like that's kind of my favorite.
Peanut butter Captain Crunch in my book is better than regular Captain Crunch,
I like it.
except that peanut butter Captain Crunch has to be eaten faster than regular Captain Crunch because regular Captain Crunch holds a sog much better.
Yep.
I'm gonna get a little connoisseur on you and say that my ultimate is the s'mores cereal from the early 90s.
Oh yeah. See, I
Right.
can't eat it because it's marshmallows.
Of course.
So
Followed up by Cinnamon Toast Crunch from the late 90s. Because Cinnamon Toast Crunch from the late 90s, before they
They're
changed
different.
the sugar, that stuff was I had a problem. It was good.
yeah.
Let
God,
me
I
tell
had a high
you something spectacularly amazing.
Just happened.
So, as a child, okay, we didn't have any of your kind of fancy fucking raisin brains and apple
Raisin-
jack.
Raisin Bran is really good.
It's
We
good.
never had any of that as a kid. So, our options
Crumpets.
were the what is it? The Tony the Tiger. They're great. Oh,
They're
Frosted
also Frosted
Frosted
Flakes.
Flakes.
Also
Flakes.
really good.
So we had that. I'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Puffs, right? And Rice Krispies, the plain old, doesn't
Rice
taste like
Krispies.
anything. Yeah,
They're good.
that was all. That was it. We went on vacation to Florida back in 1996, 95, and we had Lucky Charms for the very first time.
Oh dang!
And let me tell you something, it opened a fucking gate.
Did you
Holy
have
shit! Marshmallows?
Green Pebbles
Fucking
back then?
What is
Like they eat marshmallows in cereal? What?
It was amazing. Let me tell you something. We were up all night, just like, yo, when are we able to have this cereal again? In what 6 hours? We'll wait.
No, but there were so many good Golden Grams. You got Honey Smacks.
Sugar Smacks,
Like
yeah.
I was in a generation where we really didn't eat cereal. It was Pop Tarts, where cereal kind of phased out and Pop Tarts phased in for the longest time.
Also, a somewhat contested and often, discussed topic. What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor? Mine is the frosted brown sugar and cinnamon.
Oh,
I like the s'mores.
double chocolate.
Strawberry.
Strawberry, the classic. Frosted or unfrosted, Peps?
Oh, look at this one. She got the bites.
I don't know. It depends on the time of the day. Depends on how I'm in my mood. If I'm feeling kind of down, kind of not had a lot of sleep, then frosted.
But-
if not,
but-
I'm feeling non-frosted.
They're
See,
good
I'll
on
pass.
frosted as well.
They are good on Frosted Bell. And I'll pass on Pop Tarts all day long for toaster strudel.
Ooh, strudel. Strudel.
Yeah, toaster strudel. I love that commercial. The little kid.
Dude, blonder than blonde, eyes bluer than mine. Holy shit.
Yeah, I like toaster strudel because it's like nice and warm with your own icing on there, and it's delicious. It's delicious.
Yeah, yeah, that was great because you got to control it. You could draw a little picture, you know.
Exactly. You can
Oh,
make a
look at
face.
Uzaku. Good luck. Cut the corner off of this like weird plastic.
Oh, Miguel wants to know favorite chips.
Oh, the
Pringle.
sour cream cheddar ruffles are fucking devastating.
Those are good. Those are good.
Plain Pringles.
Plain.
go wrong. Can't go wrong.
That's my 4-year-old's favorite. Plain Pringles.
They're okay.
Um,
The problem
Little
with
dude.
Pringles is like it's made out of a paste. You know, it's a potato paste. It's the memory of a potato chip, is what it really is.
and I don't think they get these everywhere, but mine are not Lay's, but Jay's. That's a Chicago kind of a brand. Jay's hot stuff potato chips.
So I have several. What? I have two.
Digestives.
I mean, I have a lot as well, but yeah, carry on.
Number one is salt and malt vinegar kettle chips by the Real McCoys.
Nice.
Fine.
Colleen likes those
Like
as
the
well.
band? Like the band?
No,
The Real McCoys?
The Real McCoys. And then the second one is it's called spicy onion monster munch. Just brings me back to my high school days.
Spicy onion monster munch. It's like, is that like a spicy Funyun?
Oh god, no! It's more of like a dill. It's like a dill pickle flavor almost, but it's got a slight kick to it. It's weird, man. It's called Monster Munch. If you guys have you guys have Google, you can look it up. It's great.
Miguel, go ahead, answer.
Oh no, I was gonna reply to Steven's comment. They still have it. The dinosaur oatmeal. I have a box of it in my cabinet. Don't ask me.
Nice.
She's had it since the
Jurassic
90s.
Park Dino oatmeal. That's tight.
I do remember those. But Miguel, we don't have them here except for randomly when they go, hey, try what Canadians like, which is ketchup flavored Doritos.
Right.
And
Okay.
we also got like ketchup flavored Lay's, which I've never tried, but I can see the appeal because as a kid, I ate like ketchup with rice with ketchup.
I had their biscuits and gravy lays. I really liked them. I like biscuits and gravy.
Let's be real. Let's be real. The ketchup Lay's, all right, no comparison to Worcestershire sauce flavored crisps. The same. Yeah.
There's Worcestershire
Worcestershire is like
in chips.
No, they're pretty fucking good as chips.
no, but I don't eat malt. I don't eat that malt vinegar neither. By the way, so,
I see this man's taste. I see this man's taste.
it's all right though. I can test it. Colleen loves it, but I'm for against it.
I like that malt vinegar flavor.
I'm not a super big fan of flavored chips. I mean, I like Pinocchio Doritos, and that's about it. But flavored chips, something it just lost on me. But like, I like plain Cape Cods, and then I like plain Pringles. It's a simple thing.
I respect
Yeah.
that.
Only
Have you guys
chips
ever
I
had
eat are
ever had
Lay's.
the old Dutch Rip L's? That is like nostalgia in a hand for me. In the box, they come in a box, a bag in a box. How impractical is that?
Mhm.
And Rip L's because they don't want them to be crushed, and they're so.
Yeah. But I agree with Greg too. Greg,
Leave a grease stain on your shit.
they do rye chips. Rye chips are good in moderation. Like you can't eat like a bag of them. You can eat like 4 or 5, and then you're like, all right.
Oh, you can. You'll just have to face the consequences.
Do you guys? Okay, so I don't know if this is just a local thing to us. Like we have the cheese puff crisp chips, like
The Cheetos.
yeah, like Cheetos, but like white cheddar, and they're called Pirate Booty.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, I know
Those
Pirate
are everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that Newman's or who is that?
It's
That's some good shit.
Those
Mhm.
rank up there.
very easy to finish an entire bag and not realize it.
My daughter
Yeah.
eats those. Like those are good.
Do you guys get Zaps?
Oh, dude,
Some
Zaps is
crottators?
good.
Get some crottators.
All the Potbellies chains carry Zaps.
Yeah, they have like
Nice.
some weird contact with them. Yeah,
I never had
Um,
it. I don't
oh,
think
it's
I've ever seen that around here.
It's
They
like
came
a
to
southern
Sydney
thing, like
5
a
years
NOLA
ago.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a NOLA thing.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Definitely NOLA. Yeah,
Oots.
very.
Like, do you guys get Oots? I know Jay
Oh,
probably.
yeah,
does.
we get Oots.
Oh, we do.
This is all over the coast. Yeah.
I get
Big
it.
time.
They get that crab seasoning flavor. I like them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
The
good.
Old Bay.
The Old Bay chips. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Rye chips with strawberry and jam.
Back in the day, the Snyder's cheddar mini pretzels. That for my collegiate stoned ass was like you couldn't have you just that it was just bad.
So
You just didn't know what was going on. Like several screens of The Simpsons and someone's playing Madden, and it's just like pretzels. Oh,
my
goodness.
my stone snacks were Munchies, the chips. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
them.
yeah,
or-
Munchies. Munchees. Yeah, Munchies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the quintessential Stoner J snack.
Very similar to Pringles.
Yeah, very similar to Pringles.
I think that they are, and their way that they're interesting. John Lynn, I'm formulating a flavor profile for you for when I buy you things. This
Chex
is wonderful.
Like,
Chex
don't-
Mix, yeah, Cardettos. Mm-hmm.
I like my chips plain for some reason. I don't know why.
Only chips I like plain are the
No,
Lay's.
that's fine.
That's fine. But yeah, but
Like what you
Lay's
like.
potato
Exactly.
plain.
Get what you like what you like, appreciate things.
Are you eating a
Don't
piece
hate
of
on
art?
other people for
Huh?
liking other things. That's,
Are you eating a piece of art?
No, it's mini Pop Tarts.
Oh, I thought you were eating a banana. I was like, is that art?
Oh.
I'm eating
Carve
art.
a banana into like Rodin's The
I
Thinker.
kinda wish I
That's-
had a banana right now.
That's a
but-
TikTok.
Yo, I'm gonna take you guys back to, and as much as I love to eat bougie food, I also eat like when I was like poor, like dirt poor food, and I still enjoy it. Like potatoes, like potato chips inside of like a bread, like French bread or like a Hawaiian roll, like a chip sandwich. Have you guys ever eaten a chip sandwich?
I've had chips on a sandwich before, but yeah.
No, just chips and bread, like just. Oh
No.
my god, so good. But I
I've had
definitely-
some weird sandwiches though. I grew up like half farm kid, so
like
in the
syrup
Midwest.
sandwiches.
No,
exactly.
like mayonnaise and radish. Like you know, like
So where
weird
I'm
stuff.
from is the founding city that made fluff,
Oh sure, yeah.
the nice mark. So every field trip, you get like a million different types of fluff sandwiches. If you didn't like it, you're still getting fluff. So I like apple butter, some
Mhm.
pineapple, and then fluff between two pieces of Wonder Bread.
Yeah, like the marshmallow fluff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Interesting. Sounds incredibly sweet.
chip sandwich are damn.
I can see the
It
tartness
was.
of the apple butter cutting it a little bit and making it right. It just depends on ratio, I think, at that
Right.
point. Like it's all very good. And then you said pineapple too, right? The like tang.
No,
That's
bananas.
That's my safety
banana.
word.
I like the pineapple. Banana.
Yeah, we lost Pabs' face.
I'm here. I'm still here. I'm talking to my wife too.
Yeah,
Oh.
he cut his camera. Yeah.
And
Tell her hi.
Frankie says, "Cock-a-doodoo pee-pee."
Hey Frankie.
Look, Frankie,
You have
bust it
access.
open.
Frankie, you have access to the stream. Don't just jump in and be doo-doo face. Jump into the stream properly
Brian.
and be doo-doo.
Brian, can you
Yeah,
make
I
me
could do
big for a
it.
second?
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
1 second.
I got a word for Frankie.
Wait.
Bust
Is
it
it cool?
open for a real one, buddy. I'm good. He knows.
How many weeks are we gonna hear that one, Jay?
You weren't
I
there. You don't.
just wanna prepare myself, like whenever I hear it. And
You
then
weren't there.
This is week
You
3.
weren't there. You don't understand. This
Are you
man,
talking about when he spread his legs? Yeah, I
Yes.
know about it.
he rolled.
Oh.
Up. I was not expecting it. He rolled up and he put it away. This man had me on the ground. You weren't there. You don't know.
Freddie gives bad advice. Just showed up.
Frankie's just telling you guys what he's doing right now. It's entirely possible he is.
He's not busting it wide open.
He's only doing that if he recently just had Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of having Taco Bell, if you guys need to buy more models, you should go on down to USA Gundam store. You can use my code BroBuilder10 at checkout. This is actually said in the chat earlier, very kindly, and I do greatly appreciate it. And you guys can use this code. You can also use, I believe it's Ronin10, and then there's one for Team Awful. Actually, Team Awful is sponsored by USA Gundam Store. For those of you that like don't understand that any weird fake hate against a group of people that enjoy each other's company is dumb. And then you can you can use any of the other ones, Zach Aurelius or whatever, and check out our good friends up at Galactic Toys too. That Zach Blake oftentimes has a handy code that you can use.
There's a code that's always available, GBC Chicago 10, I think.
Gunpla Chicago 10.
Gunpla Chicago 10.
Also, don't talk to Zach. He will make you spend money, even if you don't.
He'll keep telling you about all the cool things that are in stock. He'll help you get them.
For USA Gundam, Grandpa Girl Gang, GGG 15.
Jay, you're not supposed to give that out.
Wow.
I can do what I
Yeah,
want.
that's a girl gang code only.
For ladies.
I don't get anything from said sponsorships in regards to I use the code that you would like.
Yeah, use any of it. I
For
wanna
ladies
give,
here.
That you support and have a good time and get a little bit knocked off, get your tax knocked off or whatever, like help out with that shipping or something, like that's kind of what it's all about. Like get a little bit back, guys.
Yo, let me get a shout out to my apprentice, Dark Shar, for using my code. Way to go. This is the way. Frankie.
Lowercase. I am your father.
Lost. I'm gonna do Darth Maul. Should I do Darth Maul? No.
Yes. So, yeah. Steven says, or Z's apprentice says, Zach just put in. I have yet to meet Zach in my travels to Galactic. Yeah, that man's always in the office. That's why.
Just knock on the door.
Yo.
Right. Don't do that.
Walk up to the counter, lean over, go quiet.
If you
I'm
want
here
to
to
meet
Zach.
when you go to Galactic Toys, go to the shawarma place next door and buy an entree and walk in with it. I promise you, he will come out.
He'll bust right out like who bought it?
He's like, I smell shawarma. And you got you, bro.
Zach like shawarma?
Don't make me sad about that Dynamis, bro. I like the
Dynamis.
So yeah, it's looking not in the best of nick. The last time I saw it, so hopefully it looks a little bit better these days. But I haven't seen it in a while. So
What was it at the? Yo, I have stuff that is coming from California home.
yeah, me, Tex and I spoke about it. It's like good luck with those wings, man. That's gonna be a hope and a prayer.
Well, I only spent like 16 hours detailing them with a Dremel after I cast them. So we'll see if they break on the way home. It's okay. I can fix anything. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, of course.
Zach says what happened. Oh, I shipped 2 models to the Bandai pop-up store that was out in, I think it was LA or something.
Yeah.
And they sat in the display case for a couple of months and they shipped them back. But all of the like big boxing and like packaging and everything that I sent out with them to get them over there was discarded basically right away. So they kind of stuffed them in a flat shipper box to come home. So we're gonna see how they get here.
Dude, that's a union
Figure's
job.
pretty good. We'll see. I'm not worried about it. So
We don't need extra boxes in this warehouse. Just get rid of them. Who's gonna use them again anyway, right?
That sounds like if it was out in LA, that's a union job, bro. They were like, you got 15 minutes to break out this pop-up.
dude, I know, and
get it out.
I super fucking packed the shit out of that because like I don't know if you guys have seen that model. I'll share it here real quick. The wings are fixed to the backpack in the position that they are in, and they are solid resin, sculpt and cast. So if you aren't familiar, I'm going to show it here real quick. If I can, if it'll let me.
It could have also been Freddy.
Oh, good night, Michael.
Damage it.
Oh, good night, Mike.
Hey, good night, Michael. Yo, guy. Yes, summer road trip to Galactic Toys. I'm down.
Yeah.
As long as you motherfuckers are disease free, I'm good to go.
Exactly.
Masket or casket?
Casket or masket? Wait.
Either way, you show up in a casket, you're good to go. Wait a minute, what?
So Zach Black says we need to get nicer displays for our store. Problem is people are inconsiderate and feel like touching display cases, etc.
Just,
No touch.
just hire somebody with a ice water. Just when they touch you, just whack.
I'm guilty, dude. The minute a sign tells me not to touch something, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking smash this thing.
Wow.
Don't tell me what to do. Just if you don't want me to touch it, just don't put any signs on it. I'll be like, yo, that's kind of like a big deal. I'm not gonna touch it. I don't want to break it. But the minute there's like especially if you go to like any Chinatown in any city, and it says like, you break, you buy. I was like, oh yeah, I break. And just wanna be like a bull in a china shop. Part of the cliche.
What do you do when you go to museums?
I touch. You stole those things from where they were.
Touchy.
In a museum, nothing belongs to the museum. It belongs to the people it was stolen from. I touch.
So when you go to an art museum and you see a really nice rendering, and you just
Easy there, Jobs. No eye touch.
Yeah, no, I touch. If the Mona Lisa was like 3 feet from me and they told me not to touch it, I'd snatch that fucking thing.
Freddie Torres says, Frankie, tell them about the big Zaku at Robot for Less. Well, he could if he was here, but Frankie is not here. So, yeah.
that is pretty, my dude.
Them wings. They're going to get to you in a hope and a prayer.
Yeah, right.
What did you do the wings out of?
Those are cast resin. That's clear cast resin.
Oh,
With a special technique that I figured out how to do, like weird translucency, cloudy shit in clear resin. And then, yeah, so there, all the fletching and everything was all carved in by hand with a Dremel. You can see all that detail. Yeah, because I cast them and then they ended up being a little bit thick because I didn't have proper backer boards when I did it. And I didn't put them in a pressure pot because I didn't have access to my pressure pot at the time. But yeah, so I did all the extra work with a Dremel on the back end. But that's how they're fixed to the backpack, which comes off the body. But yeah, so they broke once when they got there. And Tex fixed it for me. It just basically broke at the seam. Broke. Great words. Broke at the seam. Broke it did at the seam, and then she did a repair job on it, and then we'll see how they come back home. So
I wish you all of the luck in the world that they come.
I can always redo it. What I really worry about is if any of the finish on the whole model, the model as a whole, because it's very, very, very finished and weathered and all that. The wings are whatever. I don't care about that shit. But the rest of the model is I put a lot of time into that.
Of course.
Yeah, and if those of you that don't know, it was that was the one that won the cannon fodder contest for the Gundam Builders Association in 2018. Yeah.
The 218. By the way, guys, I'm kidding. I don't touch stuff.
He's whining.
Jonathan Velasquez. I'm glad you got to see it in person. That's cool. It's a great kid. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's that little bit of something's not in my control. When I travel to a show, I travel with a big gig case, hard case, metal clasps and shit on it to take my models around.
I've only traveled to one show, and I travel with Kyle.
I usually just meet Z there.
Yeah.
Yes, Zach.
If we ever need to go anywhere, I'll be like, Z, I'll meet you there.
Yeah, he always meets me there. Kyle comes with me. He's like my camera guy and my audio guy. So
this is true though. That's a true story. Yeah, Zach, I am still using models. That's what I painted Mozuko with, and I'm planning on using that for a lot of the stuff that's coming up. I did get those Moto Chromes, so I'm going to tickle with those a little bit on some things. But yeah, I'm still using Mission models. It's my paint of choice right now.
Yo, Freddie. Freddie, are you still here? Speaking of Moto, I have a question.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Freddie, who whose mistakes were being shown off in those Gundam guys story in IG?
I'm
Like,
pretty sure it's
I wanna
Angel.
know. I'm curious. I mean, they admitted it. They said that, hey, listen, it shows your mistakes. So I'm just wondering if it was Freddy or Angel or Mag or whoever. Curious.
The high chrome was definitely Angel because yeah, I don't know. I think it was Angel.
But those paints look good. Those moto paints. So far,
Who's
I've
what?
trying them.
What says Freddy? Who's what?
Don't you? Those Gundam guys account on IG? Like somebody was showing off what they used the pigment, right, pads? Like it was like the powder,
Yeah, the chrome pigment.
the chrome
See?
pigment. Oh, Angel.
I told you. It was definitely Angel because I recognize Angel's work anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I also recognize his background. No, I recognize his background. That was definitely Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach, good night, man. Thank you for
Good night.
stopping by.
No, here we are. We're actually at 11 o'clock. It is the time
It is the time.
to wrap it up. Why don't we'll make our rounds. We'll say our goodbyes, and then we're going to call it for this fine evening. Mr. Pab, why don't you kick us off with our goodbyes?
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us again. Have a 2021. Let's kick off this new year, right? Remember, Critical Builds January 16th, which is next Saturday, and then what else is there to talk about? Critical Buildoff. Please, use the hashtag. Instagram is not letting me see your posts and stuff, and I usually try to create a story to hype it up some more. So. If you guys have any work in progress photos of your cores, or if you guys are even planning on anything, it doesn't have to be finished. It can be work in progress. That's absolutely fine. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your week. We'll see you next Saturday. And thank you for having me, as always.
Awesome. Thanks for hanging out, Pabs. Appreciate you, man.
For having me.
Ms. John Lynn.
Hi guys, it's the peak of what I've gotten done. But you can find me at JSack on Instagram, Creeping Free for You 2 on Twitch, if I can ever get that to work. YouTube's. I'm back to streaming Monday, anywhere between 7 and 9. I can't guarantee a standard time. Catch me at jsack.bigcarto.com. Pick yourself up a shirt or two, maybe, or some buttons. We got a keychain drop coming soon. But thank you guys for coming tonight. I'm glad you could make it, and thank you, Brian, and everyone else.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I have one more thing to pimp out real quick. Critical Builds merchandise is out now. You've got Critical Builds hats. Thank you, Jonathan, for reminding me. Critical Builds hats, t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, tote bags, and stickers as well. So if you guys like the logo, I just slapped on a couple of things. We make absolutely no money off of it. There's no profit or anything. It's just, if you guys like something, it's a pretty cool thing. And yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. Totally forgot.
Uh-oh. Rebuttal?
Nope.
Oh.
There you go. Critical Builds hats. That's one of the colors. You can get black on black, red on black, black on blue, and blue on blue.
I put it on, but apparently I look like a Make-A-Wish kid. Thanks, Manny.
Oh, fucking Manny. Oh, goodness.
Oh, man.
My good friend, Deshaun.
Hi guys.
What's up, bouquet?
Yeah. Look at my bouquet. It's only.
I think I can smell your goatee from here. My
It
goodness.
smells like barbecue chicken pizza, actually.
I don't know if I
Gunpla Ronin on IG and on the YouTube. And don't open any messages from Miguel ever.
Really don't.
Really don't. Gunpla Chicago at Galactic Toys, Ronin 10 at USA Gundam Store. Rotate them around and look forward to seeing me more on other people's streams. I love crashing people's streams Monday through Friday or even Saturdays. I'll be there. Someone's streaming, I'll crash it. So
got it. Last second. Sorry, I'm like snoozing while I'm not losing with this. There's nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. It's wonderful. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's a fine evening. I'm Brian. You can find me here. We'll be back again on Thursday with Paul doing our normal workbench stream on Thursday.
I'll crash it.
Said. You're welcome to crash. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter talking shit to the president's daughter. And working on cool models and having a good time, making jokes and living life, because it's the idea is to have a good time and enjoy the ride. Don't take everything so seriously, but take the things that are supposed to be serious. Please be safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Be socially distant where it's applicable, and if you can, please, by God, get vaccinated if you can, if it's available.
Whisk it or risk it.
Remember, time will put your enemies in the ground. Keep on keeping on.
Have your dog spayed and neutered.
Have your dog spayed, and thank you, Bob Barker. And we'll catch you guys next time on The Price is Right.
The price is wrong, bitch.
The Price is Wrong.
I just want to appreciate it.
Oh, I love it. But thank you